In the southwest corner of Ascalon stands a great city. In stark contrast to the tawny farmland and open woodland that surrounds it, it is a bustling cultural hub for Charr and visitors alike. It's a city of iron and steel, built on the ruins of war, a proud statement to the unflinching spirit of the Charr. The Black Citadel is the headquarters of the Iron Legion, one of the 4 high legions that govern the Charr. It is presided over by the Imperator of the Iron Legion, Smolder the Unflinching, but both the Ash and Blood Legion have a presence in the government of the city. Their tribunes, such as Ritlock Brimstone and Torga Desertgrave, have quarters here, although in the absence of Tribune Brimstone, his aide-de-camp Laria Sharpai handles the day-to-day tasks associated with his office. The Imperator resides in the Imperator's Core, a towering metal-clad sphere that dominates the Citadel skyline. It contains the offices of the tribunes stationed in the city, and Charr gather here to share information, ideas, and orders. Just outside the core is a long ramp that bridges the upper city with the Memorial Quadrant. The Charr regard the prominent figures in their tumultuous history with great reverence and respect. Here, they have erected statues to commemorate such Charr. There are Charr here renowned for their combat abilities and exceptional skill, such as Bull's Deathrain the Archer. Others are Charr that stood steadfast in the face of their enemy, such as Pharaoh the Butcher to the minions and corruption of Kralkatorrik, or Nox Darkheart, who lay siege to the city of Ebonhawk and fought tirelessly in an attempt to remove the human presence from Ascalon. There are statues here of soldiers who were responsible for the dissolution of the Flame Legion's tyrannical hold over the Charr. Ophila Soulcleaver and Viola Raptorgaze, who fought alongside Callus Scorchrazor herself, are given a presence immortalised in metal, watching over the city and its citizens. And Scorchrazor stands, her face fixed in an imposing snarl, to remind all who see her of the sacrifices she made to overthrow the Flame Legion, freeing the Charr from the enslavement to irrational dogma that their rule imposed. The Memorial Quadrant also houses a Plaza of Remembrance. Here, the names of warbands that have been lost in service to the legions are immortalised. The Charr are not a race that necessarily value emotional expression of grief, but here the Charr gather to silently pay their respects and stand in quiet reflection. Adjacent to the Memorial Quadrant is the hub of Charr manufacturing and commerce. Here stands the City Bank and Trading Post, where Black Lion merchants ply their trade. There are stations where master crafters trade with merchants and travellers, and impart their knowledge on novice crafters. The furnaces are always roaring, the wheels always turning, as crafters generate armour, weapons, concoctions, and more. Production is aided by the presence of an Asura Gate to Lion's Arch. Traders can pass freely to and from the Citadel and the seaside city, making the flow of goods and money quick and easy. It's not just longbows and sharpening stones that are made here. The Black Citadel is home to large-scale testing and production of some truly impressive machinery. The Iron Legion, pioneers of mechanical innovation, toiled to construct most of the weapons, artillery, siege engines and vehicles of Charr military forces. These gigantic coal-powered machines loom on the mustering ground of the Citadel, ever poised to be released onto the battlefield. Such a production line is bound to require a great deal of metal and generates a fair amount of scrap from manufacture or testing mishaps. As such, the Citadel also houses a truly impressive smelter and scrapyard. Presided over by the Scorch Warband, who pass on their great wealth of knowledge on alloy production and metallurgy, the Grand Imperial Smelter is a fiery orange swathe on the face of the Citadel. Alongside Unglot Sootmane, who runs the scrapyard, Charr from all over the Citadel come to work in the industry that surrounds this hub. Many of the Charr living in the Citadel lodge within the Heroes' Canton. Here, barracks for soldiers from many warbands and all 3 high legions are clustered together behind a wall. There are communal spaces where Charr gather to socialise, sleep and train. The Heroes Canton also houses the Citadel's Farrar, where young Charr are raised. Approximately 1 year from birth, cubs are separated from their parents and sent to the Farrar of their High Legion, where they are presided over by a Primus. Similar to a teacher and a mentor, the Primus watches over the cubs and educates them on the necessary aspects of Legion life. The cubs form their war bands at this stage and create bonds that last a lifetime. Beneath the Citadel are more lodgings for Charr, but unlike the Heroes Canton, here it is decidedly run down. This canton is a warren of metal walkways. Water runs over the exposed metal and down to the basin below. There are humans here, previous prisoners of war, and Sylvari lodgers too. The Charr here do not belong to any warband, they are gladiums, and as such they are outcast and relegated to living in this secluded section of the Citadel. Gladiums may have lost their warbands through war, sickness or accidents. And although they might find like-minded Charr in the Gladium Canton and form new warbands, some even leave the Citadel to pursue their lives elsewhere. Those that stay eke out a living as best they can. The emphasis that Charr place on belonging is tantamount to the emphasis they place on strength, discipline, and a readiness to fight. Charr are focused on preparing for war. Their economy is centered on it, and much of their history is steeped in conflict for one reason or another. Charr in the Citadel may train on dummies and targets around the city, but many prefer to hone their skills on each other. To the west of the Citadel is the Bane, a great stadium where Charr gather to spar and brawl. Surrounded by tiered steps where spectators gather, sometimes the Bane is used to settle disputes as much as it's used for entertainment. Dotted around the Citadel are structures that look distinctly different to the sleek metal constructed by the Charr. These are historical remains from when the humans still inhabited this part of Ascalon. On the outskirts of the Citadel, on the shores of Legacus Notos and Legacus Aquilo, are the ruins of Rin, the human capital of Ascalon that fell during the Charr invasion led by Bonfaz Burntfur. Scavengers operate here, such as Petrus Crimsonhack, scouring the ruins for trinkets to sell, alongside scholars from the Dermond Priory, researching many aspects of these ruins. Sten Veilshredder is hoping to glean information from watching the human ghosts that still patrol this area. In his words, "The better we understand destructive magic like that, the more we can improve our defences against it." Such research may prove invaluable in keeping the Citadel safe. The Charr have already managed to remove the ghosts from the Citadel itself, but their presence looms just a stone's throw from the walls. In the shadow of the Citadel are the ruins of Nolani Academy. Before the Searing, the Nolani Academy of the Arcane Arts was one of the most advanced schools in Ascalon. Now it is a broken shell, populated only by aggressive ghosts. The Adamant Guard managed to keep them at bay, and each soldier here is prepared for the constant spectral onslaught. Their efforts are supported by the cannons mounted on the Citadel perimeter. These are special devices specifically manufactured to destroy spectral foes. Called the Ghost Blast Battery, these weapons fire constantly towards the ruins and are the primary reason the Nolani spectres are kept at bay. Ultimately, the Black Citadel is testament to the industrious nature of the Charr and Charr society. It is a reminder of the extent that Charr have and will go to rebuild from the ashes of destruction and conflict. Despite the threats still lapping at the walls of the city from the ghosts of centuries past, the Black Citadel remains steadfast and incorruptible.